Hello. Because
We're fine.
are we gonna get to the story of Joseph?
Nope. We got okay. Should we open in prayer or are we good? Okay. Sorry. Oh, heavenly King, comfort the spirit of truth, who art everywhere present, and fillest all things, treasury of good things, and giver of life. Come and dwell in us, and cleanse us of all impurity, and save our souls, O good one. All right. Brendan, if I can get you more on this side a little bit. Charlotte, come on, over here. Okay. All right. So, in our last story, Jacob had stolen the blessing that Isaac had intended to bestow on Esau. This was Esau's right, as he was the firstborn, the older of the two twins. But Rebekah, remembering that God had told her that the older would serve the younger, had helped Jacob to steal it. Actually, she had given him the idea, the plan, the tools. She basically did everything except the actual act, right? Now, Esau, he didn't know any of that. All he knew was that his brother had stolen what was his by right, even though his father had given him the blessing of toughness. He couldn't see that for the blessing that it was. He was just mad. So mad that he vowed to kill his brother Jacob as soon as his father died. But now let's take a step back and talk a little bit more about Esau. While Esau was a man's man, the favorite of his father Isaac, he hadn't actually done a very good job of following his father's example. For one, unlike Isaac, Esau was not a peacemaker. Honestly, this was because he hadn't learned to trust God in the way that Isaac had, at least not yet. Another important difference was in who Isaac and Esau chose to spend their lives with. What? No, we're talking on Esau right now. Who Isaac and Esau chose to spend their lives with. Isaac had married only one woman, Rebekah, and she was from his father's family, meaning she already knew and worshipped God Most High. And she came from a people that valued the same things that Abraham and Isaac valued. Esau, on the other hand, he saw beautiful women among the people he was near. Canaanites and Hittites, people who worshiped pagan gods, as in they worshiped demons. These people did not know God Most High. Rather than wait for the woman that God had prepared for him, Esau went ahead and married not one, but two of these women. This was not pleasing to God, and it was not pleasing to Isaac and Rebekah. Esau's two Hittite wives caused all sorts of problems and all sorts of grief to both Isaac and Rebekah, and in the long run, one of them would give rise to the nation of Amalek, which would give the future nation of Israel all sorts of problems. Yes, Hannah?
Well, the thing is, Jacob had to lie.
We're going to get that. Just hold on to it, Hannah. Hold on to it.
Other people had many wives, but why did God not like Esau?
Hittite wives.
Wait, yes. And in Genesis, many wives always makes problems. Always makes. God will still bless the marriage and the children that are there, but there's always problems that come along. And all of the wives in the room, they're like, yeah, there would be problems. Okay. Yeah.
I don't want to lose track of
where we are.
What you just said about Esau. It's not the two wives that's
right.
the primary problem. they're not from this extended family that knew God.
They don't worship God Most High. They worship demons. They don't value hospitality and service in the way that the family of Abraham always does. The family of Abraham, strangers come and they're like, welcome. Like they make them at home, right? Yeah. Hold on.
And not to be real any bitter, but one gets the impression that
Yeah.
for Esau, it was all about physical attractiveness.
Right.
And for Jacob, he actually labored greatly and had to do a lot to prove that he was worthy of both of his wives. So
Right.
that's in the future.
We're getting there. Not even this week. 2 weeks. We're going to get there. Okay. Okay. Yes. But 2 wives is going to make problems for Jacob too. Jacob's going to end up with 4 wives, actually. Right. Questions?
No questions.
Yes, Anna.
Isn't he gonna marry his cousin?
Yes.
Don't worry about it.
What?
In that, yes. Not only,
Alabama.
and yet it was.
Why do they keep marrying each other like so close? I feel like there might be a lot of family problems.
Well,
Genetic.
So if I could take a stab
oh,
at
okay.
this.
Okay, so I need to repeat the questions. So that question was, doesn't that mean that he's marrying?
I have another one.
Oh, you haven't? Nah, that's fine. Doesn't that mean that Jacob is going to be marrying his cousin? Yes. He's going to end up marrying two cousins. His dad married a cousin, once removed. His brother married a cousin. It's a thing. But, and this is not a thing that we do nowadays, okay?
But wouldn't there be a lot of malfunctions?
So the malfunctions arise when this happens time and time and time again. You do it for generations and generations and generations. Yes, there's going to be problems. But right now, we're not at that generations and generations yet. Okay?
So Abraham married
Yeah, okay. But in this case, one of the things that they're really trying to emphasize is we're trying to keep someone that worships God Most High at least a little bit. The more important thing is the spiritual component, is the values. Is this person knows God Most High, has been blessed by God Most High, as opposed to marrying other people that are worshiping demons. Right? Because at this time, that's really what they're doing. They're worshiping demons, and the demons, when people worship them, lead them into worse and worse and more horrible things. Like, I don't think we appreciate how nasty the old pagan religions were. The religions of the people that lived in Canaan were terrible. Like this, like,
all religions. I think some of them might be actually worshiping demons, but some of them, I feel like maybe.
Hannah, we're talking about something different. This is before the incarnation. The people before Jesus came, when he came, everything changed, even paganism. And we have records from people at the time who were like, we're not doing religion the way that our fathers were. Like people who worship Zeus and Jupiter, and their religions changed with the incarnation. What we're talking about now is a time when that's not happening and the demons rule the world, at least apparently.
And also, that region in particular
Right.
was especially bad even in that era.
We are not talking about,
And
yeah.
even if we're not talking about the especially bad, they're all worshiping demons. There's no other option. It's not like there's a bunch of good gods you could be worshiping and then evil
I know,
ones
but
over here.
like, I feel like they might have just made them up.
They had beings appear to them.
They learned it from someone. They learned
Yes.
to fear a particular thing so much so that they would bow down to it and beg it for help or mercy. This is why religion exists at all.
Right.
It's because people got afraid and were like, it's time to bow down. And it's a matter of what you're bowing down to. And there's only two options: God or not God.
Right.
And so when he says the worshipers of the Most High God, there were worshipers of the Most High God that were not only amongst those people we're talking about in the Bible. We come across them a couple of times in the Bible, but there's really, there should be no ambiguity about this. It's not like there was a bunch of neutral people that were kind of okay, especially not in Canaan. They're all doing human sacrifice and cannibalism.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about.
Right.
As far as the cousin thing, we're many closer, a much smaller number of generations closer to Adam and Eve in this story here.
Yeah.
We are way far removed from that, and God designed genetics. He knows how it works, and I'm
Yes.
sure he can arrange things in such a way that problems will not arise, especially amongst the people that are actually worshiping him as they've been taught how to worship.
Don't go thinking about dating your cousins, though.
It is not a recommendation.
No. Yeah.
But the worshipers of God have His blessing.
Yeah. Okay. Daniel's hand was up, and then I think there was another hand up.
It was answered. It was about they sacrificed babies, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yes. Like,
anytime you see a sacrifice, they're eating it.
yeah.
Anytime there's a sacrifice, there's a meal. Just like with us, we have the bloodless sacrifice. We use bread and wine. It turns into the body and blood, and then we eat it.
Yeah.
Before that existed, there was still a body and blood, and it was eaten. And this is the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we were just saying. Yes, right. And so you sacrifice what was the most valuable stuff, which is why there's child sacrifice. Right?
Yeah.
You ate that sacrifice, and that's called cannibalism.
That's just gross.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
That's why. That is what Jacob and all of the people of Israel and all this kind of thing are surrounded by when this is all happening. This is their world.
That would be so sad to eat your baby. Like, who would want to do
Yes. Yes.
The demon. This is actually a really important point. There's a lot of things people do in our world that upon first viewing, you might say, who would want to do that?
Yeah.
The answer is the demons teach us to do things we would never want to do. It's part of their deal it's how they get power over us, convincing us to do things that nobody in their right mind would ever think of doing themselves.
Yeah.
And so this is the battle that we fight.
Yeah. With the intent of destroying us, right? Like it's so it's destroying. So like when they're doing this, it's destroying the child that is sacrificed. But then you think about the pain that the parents are going to go through as well. This is hurting them deeply too. This is hurting the whole society that is starting to be like, well, wait, why isn't it your kid that's being sacrificed and eaten, right? Everything is destructive. And that's like, this is,
so that the rule becomes do it to him before you can do it to you. And
yeah.
That's why Christianity replaces that rule with turn the other cheek and love your enemy. And this is the battle that we're fighting. That's why when we say about the martyrs, these are people who were killed for being Christian. We say of them, you set at not the tormentors and crushed the feeble audacity of the demons. That's a battle that the martyrs are winning by being killed. They're saying, I'll give up. You want to kill me? No problem. How about it? And then they get crowns and they get to be up on the walls and remembered forever. Meanwhile, whoever it was that came up with the rule that they were living under, you're lucky if you remember their name at all, and usually it's not a good memory.
And
so that's the battle.
And this is one of the ways that paganism changed with the incarnation, because now, with Christ's kingdom established on earth, people started to see what it was supposed to look like, and so the demons had to change their lies. Their lies, with the truth standing right there, their lies had to become more subtle, had to become not as obviously bad. They're still trying to destroy us, right? They're still trying to destroy us, but they know, I can't get these people to just go kill a baby, just kill a baby so that you'll have plenty of stuff, right? Like, I can't tell them that outright. I've got to make up other lies that will still destroy them, that will still maybe move them in that direction, but that are much more subtle. Yeah. Other questions or comments?
Let's leave it there for now.
Okay.
Say a prayer. It's
Okay.
truly neat.
It is truly meet to bless thee, the Theotokos, the ever blessed and most blameless and mother of our God, more honorable than the cherubim, and beyond comparable glory.